This is Lois and Quagmire.
What's going on with you? I thought I made such a good impression.
But this is also Lois and Quagmire.
Oh, Glenn, I love all your jokes and your dirty puns.
Quagmire has always lusted after everything female, and he didn't draw the line at messing with his friends' wives. In fact, when it came to Lois, he almost seemed to want her every minute of the day. But just how much effort did he put into getting into Lois's pants? Here's every time Quagmire tried to Lois. In Season 13, Episode 19, Stuck Together, Torn Apart, we saw the most memorable moment where Quagmire tried to get with Lois. It all started in the grocery store when Lois saw an old friend.
Oh my gosh. I don't believe this. Ross Fishman, is that really you?
But Peter isn't exactly the understanding type.
That Hugh Grant is so handsome.
Oh, is that how it is?
After having it all laid on her, Lois decided that she wasn't going to let Peter run her life and instead went all in on Ross. Even though she tried to sneak around, Peter found out in the creepiest way possible.
Take a look. Oh my God, that is Lois.
Safe to say, hell broke loose when Peter tried to get revenge. Peter came home and still tried to get back at Lois, which had an interesting consequence. But the therapist's solution to their issues was unusual, to say the least. So when Quagmire called the Griffin house to talk to Peter, he wasted no time when Lois told him this.
We're having some minor marital problems. Our therapist has advised us to date other people.
Hey, Lois, you want to go out?
Excuse me, ma'am? Don't you know whose car you just hopped in? But the date happened anyway. He didn't even try to hide the fact that what he wanted to do to her had nothing to do with food. His intentions were very clear, especially when that shady waiter showed up.
Certainly, sir. Martini for you and the usual roofie colada for your date?
No.
This entire plot was insane since Lois supposedly chose Quagmire over the perverts of Quahog, like he wasn't the chief of them all. This, however, was definitely not the last time Quagmire tried to have his way with Lois. Season 5, Episode 2, Mother Tucker, is an interesting one, and the title says enough. In this plot, Peter's mom visited him and had some interesting things to say.
Mom, what are you doing here?
Peter, I left your father.
Things get worse when Thelma shares her plans on what to do now.
I have needs that he didn't satisfy, and I'm still a young woman, Peter.
So Lois decided to be a girl's girl and took her to a club to meet new people, and to get the old woman a date. Quagmire was already walking behind Lois when she was speaking, and he didn't even need more of a sign than the word mingle.
Oh my God, Lois, you single now?
No, Glenn, I'm here with Thelma.
His reaction said everything. He was just too eager at even the idea that Lois is single again. It's almost as if he forgot that she's married to his best friend. To top it all off, apparently, to Quagmire, Peter's wife is fair game. But Peter's mother is where he draws the line. For a pervert who knows no boundaries, he didn't even get to know the lady. But telling Quagmire this would be like talking to a brick wall. Time to bring up the next episode on this list, I guess. Quagmire rushed to Lois' side again in Season 19, Episode 9, The First Noel, when she only said she was leaving. In this episode, it was Christmas time, and Lois was tired of being a single mother to the whole family. Even after doing all the mental load, her family simply just wasn't having it. Even before they stepped inside a mall, Peter found ways to mess everything up. Just when you think there's still hope for saving Christmas for Lois, this happens.
Ooh, Century Gothic font.
When they came home, Lois was understandably fed up. Peter did not, in fact, have everything in control. After all this, Lois decided to take matters into her own hands. Of course, she planned to return after the holidays, but Quagmire still wasted no time showing up.
You're getting divorced?
No, I'm just leaving for a few days and ruining the Christmas.
It's crazy that Glenn was literally always on standby, ready to go if she was. Things unfortunately don't get better for Lois. In Season 12, Episode 9, Peter Problems, the family almost went bankrupt when Peter lost his job in the stupidest way a person could think of. His attitude did not help at all. Finally, Lois had to talk with Peter.
Peter, we should talk about this job situation. Our savings are getting pretty low.
You know, actually, Peter, there's a lot of jobs.
Since Peter wasn't helping her situation and only making it worse, Lois decided to step up. Lois turned out to be much smarter, getting the first job she applied for. But this had consequences at home because Peter now has to do everything Lois normally does, and boy was he cocky about it. He would soon learn his lesson when he actually had to get to it. One day, after a long day at work, Lois wanted to have sex with her husband, but it didn't go as planned.
Having trouble.
Well, somebody's gotta have sex with me.
And guess who came to save the day? And if that wasn't enough, Glenn made Peter do something that could only be a bedroom fantasy for his obsession with Lois.
Oh, Peter, that's new.
But to be frank, Glenn did save the day, but that doesn't mean that it was any less creepy. This was not the last time Quagmire thought he could stand in for Peter. Quagmire struck again in Season 8, Episode 10, Big Man on Hippocampus, when Peter's stupidity made everything worse for Lois again. Having lost his memories, everything fell on his wife, down to the intimate stuff. After having the time of his life with Lois, Peter decided to do something disastrous.
Bet, move over so Tiffany and I have room.
What?
With Peter out of the picture, Quagmire once again pounced on the opportunity.
But listen, I got all this shopping to do, so you want to stop by tomorrow night? I'll just whip something up.
Dinner with Quagmire sure was interesting, and everything seemed to go according to his plans.
I think I can make it from here. Whoa!
That is, until Lois decided to say something that Quagmire couldn't forget.
If Peter's never coming back to me, it's at least nice to know I'm in the arms of a trusted friend.
Luckily, Peter came back just in time with his memories and a drive to get his wife home. Quagmire was so close that time, but unfortunately, or fortunately, luck was not on his side that day. But this next episode would prove to be more in Quagmire's favor. After a lot of trial and error, Quagmire finally got his wish in an alternate reality. In Season 5, Episode 18, Meet the Quagmires, Peter admired the lifestyle of his single friends, and he got Death to help him. Now back in 1984, 18-year-old Lois showed up to remind Peter about their date, but Peter didn't want a rerun of his old life. He then lived it up, doing everything he wanted to do at 18 until death took him away from a woman's arms. If only he knew what was waiting in store for him when he got home. That wasn't even the horrific part.
Lois, what the hell? I'm gone for one night and you sleep with Quagmire?
Obviously, Peter was devastated. Watching his wife go upstairs to get banged by his best friend was too much for him to handle. To rub salt on his wounds, he met what was supposed to be his family.
Oh my God. All right, don't freak out, Peter.
He tried to get Lois to change her mind, but that didn't go as well as he had hoped.
We're the ones who were meant to be together, not you and Quagmire.
And for extra torture, Peter just had to witness this.
Let's go upstairs and do it.
Okay.
Quagmire won this round in a way, but since it wasn't reality, does it even count? Quagmire is so down bad for Lois that not only did he make attempts to sleep with her, but his fantasies of her alone were enough reason for Peter to execute him. Even when he wasn't outrightly trying to have sex with her, he was a raving lunatic with the way he acted around her. Like in Season 3, Episode 11, Mission Impossible, when Lois' sister was having a baby, they chose Quagmire, of all people, to babysit the other kids. We'll never understand why, but let's just say desperate times call for desperate measures. After Peter and Lois left for her sister's place, things got weird immediately. Since Quagmire had no idea what to do with kids, apart from traumatizing them, he tried to entertain them in the strangest way.
Hey! Diggly, 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 diggly.
Well, the kids were not entertained by that, and in the end, he sent Chris on a scavenger hunt. But one of the items he requested was not as harmless as it looked. He asked for Lois's hairbrush that still had some of her hair on it. And what did Glenn do with it? He opened his closet to reveal a blow-up doll with blonde hair, but that wasn't the creepy part. He is Quagmire after all. Of course, he's gonna have some pleasure toys. The disturbing thing, though, was that he taped Lois's picture to the doll's head and took that hair from the brush Chris gave him and put it on top of the head. Ugh! But that wasn't enough for him. He followed up his actions with the creepiest comment he could have ever made.
Clippings and we'll be ready for our...
But this wasn't the creepiest thing he did with Lois in mind. In Season 3, Episode 7, Lethal Weapons, while the Griffins were on a trip with Bonnie, Lois complimented her appearance. Bonnie attributed her good looks to the taijutsu training she's been getting. Lois decided to join the training program and started getting really strong, like Wonder Woman kinda strong. But with this newly found strength came anger issues and the need to beat up people at the slightest provocation. Especially since leaf-watching tourists from New York kept throwing trash on her lawn, this made Lois demonstrate some of her martial arts skills to scare them off.
Free the beast!
But guess who wasn't put off by it? That's right, who else but Quagmire? Not only was he turned on, he had his privates out and was standing by his window looking at Lois in action. Only God knows what he was doing, but we do know what he was thinking. And this wasn't the last creepy thing he did near Lois. In Season 8, Episode 21, Partial Terms of Endearment, Lois went for her college reunion and saw an old friend, Naomi. Naomi said she had something to discuss with Lois and Peter was really excited at first. But he soon found out the real reason why Naomi wanted to talk to Lois and Peter.
It was suggested that I find a healthy woman who would consider carrying our child to term.
After Lois agreed to be their surrogate, Naomi and her husband's embryo was put inside her. But she still needed to be on a stick to confirm if she was pregnant. That was when we got this nasty interaction between Brian and Quagmire.
Lois just peed on something.
Hey, Brian, you picking up on that?
Yep.
First of all, what was their first encounter with Lois's piss? Brian's comment was not too bad, even though it was still creepy. But it was a dog who lived in the same house as Lois. He probably knows how everyone's pee smells, but Quagmire? I have nothing to say in his defense. He was just a different breed, and this wasn't the last time he got involved in Lois's bathroom activities. In Season 4, Episode 3, Blind Ambition, Peter and his boys were having a good time at the bowling alley, and their chauffeur for the night, Lois, came by to take them home. But before they called it a night, she had something to do.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go tinkle.
Okay, everybody ready? Hey, where's Quagmire?
However, while she was in the bathroom getting the public toilet seat ready for her use, she kept hearing strange sounds. We recognize Quagmire's voice as he said his signature. He could have stayed hidden and gotten the view he wanted to see, but he got impatient with Lois's pace and said this.
Would you just sit down and go to the bathroom already?
Lois must have beaten the crap out of him because in the next frame, we saw him looking very ragged in his mugshot, which I'm not mad about because he absolutely deserved it. And what was interesting about this episode was Lois's reaction to the situation. It wasn't the first time Quagmire had tried something creepy, but something about him hanging from the walls of the bathroom to see her pee must have made her snap. Still, she handled it like a boss, but did that stop Quagmire from misbehaving again? Absolutely not! In Season 4, Episode 7, Hot Pocket Dial, Peter and Lois went to a restaurant and ran into Quagmire having dinner with his trans mom, Ida. After they chatted for a bit, they took a selfie, and that's when Quagmire did something disgusting. After the Griffins left, he sat at the table admiring Lois's picture and telling his mom that Peter's a lucky guy.
Yeah, Peter's a lucky guy.
When Ida asked if he had feelings for Lois and wanted a woman like her, this is what he said.
No, I don't want a woman like Lois. I want Lois.
Normally, I would have doubted Glenn's declaration of love, but something about the way he said it and how he handled things when Peter found out really made it seem genuine.
I know, it's wrong. And Peter's a good friend.
While he was having this heart-to-heart talk with his mom, he accidentally dialed Peter and the whole conversation was sent as a voicemail.
Oh my God! Quagmire's in love with my wife?
When Peter listened to it, he couldn't control his jealousy and went apeshit on Quagmire. He embarrassed him publicly and beat him up, all because he started seeing Glenn as a threat to his marriage, but Quagmire didn't do much to defend himself. In fact, when he ran into Lois at the grocery store, he hid from her until she approached him, and there and then he made his decision to leave town.
Well then, I know what I have to do. Goodbye, Lois.
But he took all the fun and joy with him. His friends became miserable, and even Peter, his #1 hater, drank himself to a stupor because he missed him. It was kinda touching to see how easily he gave up his life in Quahog for the sake of peace, but I don't think that sacrifice was enough to excuse I don't know, all of his actions. I mean, look at this. We made an entire list about it. When it came to Lois Griffin, Quagmire did a lot of creepy things throughout the show that were unforgivable.